I'm live. Hey, welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. I'm the mom and I do the movie reviews. And my goal is to save you time and money by giving you the scoop on filmmaking quality and content so you can decide whether or not you want to watch a particular film. So today, the particular film I'm reviewing is called Mickey 17. This sci fi dark comedy slash thriller is now playing in theaters as well as on Fandango at home. The film is rated R, and I'm going to give you some tips for parents here in just a minute. It's 2 hours and 17 minutes long, which is, in my opinion, really too long. But I'll talk to more about that in just a minute too. But my overall movie review mom grade is probably a B plus, maybe B to a B plus. So first, I'm going to give you an overview in a nutshell, and then I'll point out things I like, things I didn't like, tips for parents, themes worth talking about, funny lines, interesting lines, and then we'll finish up with recommendations for other films that are sort of similar. Now, let's see how fast I can get through all of that so that this isn't a 45-minute video. Hopefully, it'll be a lot shorter than that. All right, so I scared you there, didn't I? So, in a nutshell, what is it like to die? Well, the film is an adaptation of Edward Ashton's quirky novel called Mickey 7. And it is said that the director wanted to call this movie Mickey 17 just so that he could kill a character 10 more times. The film stars Robert Pattinson as Mickey Barnes, an expendable crew member on a colonization mission to the icy planet Niflheim. I forget that's how they said it. Mickey's role involves undertaking perilous tasks with his consciousness being transferred to a new clone upon each death. Pretty creative, right? I thought so. Complications arise when Mickey 17 survives an assignment and returns to find Mickey 18 already in his place, leading to existential dilemmas and ethical conflicts. The film was directed by the famous award winning Bon Joon Ho, who won 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture for his movie Parasite in 2019. You'll actually see one of the sets in this movie that was used in the movie Parasite. So, quick tips for parents. It is rated R for several good reasons. One, lots of profanity and F bombs. We see a tube going inside a guy's naked bum, and later we see his entire naked backside. We see an unmarried couple going at it, but the private parts are not shown. We just see motion and we know what's happening. We see animated stick figures going at it. There's blood, gore, vomit. People get high on drugs. All those reasons and more, not appropriate for kids. But some of the themes that are illustrated really well are expendable people and the value of human life, friendship, identity, political satire, duality, power, control, cloning, capitalism, colonization, experimentation, exploitation, and learning from failure. So here's a long list of things that I really liked about this film. First of all, Robert Pattinson is such a fantastic actor, showing us these nuanced performances and differences between his characters, Mickey 17 and Mickey 18. I used to think that he was just a pretty boy from the Twilight movie franchise, but he has really shown us that he can do much, much more ever since then. He was incredible in the movie The Lighthouse. Did you ever see that one? That one is definitely a rated R film as well. But my chin was hanging to the floor because of the two performances that were unbelievable in that film. Uh, I'll bet he had a lot of fun making this movie. The fantastic cast includes 3 Oscar nominees: Toni Collette, Mark Ruffalo, and Stephen Yeun. Other cast standouts include Naomi Aki and Patsy Farron. So, in order to capture spontaneous, raw performances, the director filmed certain scenes without Pattinson knowing which version of Mickey that he was going to play before shooting. Was it Mickey 17 or Mickey 18? Because they actually do have these very subtle differences. We get to hear the famous Wilhelm scream at about the 1 hour, 16-minute, 30-second mark when a bulkhead door slams closed. And in case you didn't know, the Wilhelm scream is famous. It's a stock sound effect that has been used in over 400 movies, TV shows, and video games over the decades. It's a high-pitched dramatic scream that was first recorded in 1951 for the film called Distant Drums. I've never seen that, but a soldier gets attacked by an alligator in that movie. And the scream was later named after the character Private Wilhelm, who lets out the same scream when shot by an arrow in the 1953 film The Charge at Feather River. It became an inside joke among sound designers, especially after Ben Burt, a sound designer for joke or for Star Wars, sorry, started using it in the franchise. And then ever since then, it has appeared in movies like Indiana Jones, Lord of the Rings, Toy Story, and many more. Once you recognize it, you're going to start hearing it everywhere. A fun cameo performance of a news reporter is by, I'm probably not going to pronounce his name correctly, Sabit Chaudhary. Sabay Chaudhary, I don't know, who's a real news reporter in real life. So that's kind of fun. We see stark contrast between the chilling beauty of the icy landscapes of Niflheim, this icy planet, and the sleek realism of the futuristic technology that's used in the movie. And speaking of technology, the film explores the ethical boundaries of advancement that humans may not be prepared to deal with right now. With the surge of AI software, this movie is definitely timely. There's a lot of humor in both the dialogue and the visual situations. And kudos to Marios Hamboulides for creating a terrific trailer that makes you want to see the movie. I saw it, I don't know, several weeks ago, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to see that. And I finally just saw the movie. So as an identical twin myself, I thought that the whole conversation about multiples was really interesting. Now, there were just a few things that I didn't like or thought could have been done better. For example, there are some flashbacks that might confuse viewers about the timeline. Just pay attention, you'll be fine. It's not a big deal. In order to capture these spontaneous, oh, I already said that, didn't I? About, yeah, never mind that. But one thing that I haven't said before is that the movie is unnecessarily long to say what it needs to say. I said that it was long, but it was just too long. It was entertaining, but still, I think some scenes could have easily been cut out. It makes the pacing uneven at times, and sometimes it's even hard to understand what people are saying during whispered conversations. But other than that, I actually got a kick out of it. It's different, and it'll make you think after you see the movie. I'm still thinking about it. Now, whenever I watch movies, I write down the funny lines and the interesting lines that I hear just so I can tell you what they are, so you can get a taste for the script writing and dialogue and that kind of stuff. And so I'll share just a couple of them with you right now. You can see all of them on my written review at moviereviewmom.com. And by the way, normally I edit the videos, or I have the videos edited by my virtual assistant, but she's getting married and I've lost her. And so that's why I'm doing the live. But anyway, back to the funny lines. So Berto is one of the characters who knows Mickey 17, and he knows that he's died 17 times. And so finally he says, I'm sure you're used to it by now, but what's it feel like to die? And it's kind of a running joke throughout the entire film. People keep asking him that. And then Mickey Barnes, who's played by Robert Pattinson, has another conversation where he says, why don't you guys do rock, paper, scissors, and then we'll just shoot the loser. You know, like people are just shooting people and killing people all the time like it's no big deal. Now, some interesting lines is a bureaucrat says, each soul shall only have one body. And that's why these bodies keep getting replicated. There's another weird element of the movie about sauce. Toni Collette's character is obsessed with sauce. And it made me laugh because I can relate. Everything should have sauce on it or some type of a flavored sauce. And so Toni Collette's character says, sauce is the true litmus test of civilizations. And I don't know that I would go that far, but I think it was kind of a funny line. And then there's a character named Red Hair played by Holiday Granger. And the Red Hair says, every time you die, we learn something new and humanity moves forward. And that's one of the biggest jokes and questions of the film is humanity actually moving forward or backwards or even sideways? And so there's a lot of really good, interesting themes that you're going to want to see this with friends, and you'll have lots to talk about with them after you see this movie. All right, so let me give you 3 recommendations for films that are sort of similar that made me instantly think of them. Well, first are 2 movies by the same director, Parasite, of course, and people have been comparing this to Parasite and saying that they were disappointed. Well, it's a different movie, but you can see his touch, his direction in this film. But just as fair warning, it is different. Another one is an older film by the same directors, Barking Dogs Never Bite. So if you like the director, check them out. Don't. I'm kind of trying to lower your expectations just a little bit because it is a different film. And then, oh, hold on, before I say, and then I'm just looking to see who's visiting and saying something. All right, no comments yet, but I see you, visitors. So thanks for spending time with me. All right, so then the last movie that I thought of, which is very different from this, well, sort of different, is called Multiplicity. It is an old, I'm not going to say romantic comedy. There's a little romance, but it's a comedy that came out, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, maybe more, in the 90s. Yeah, wow, it is 25 years ago. That's crazy. Anyway, it's really cute and it stuck with me. And it's about one guy who gets cloned over and over and over again. And like a Xerox that loses its effectiveness or its clarity, so are each clones. They get less and less intelligent, and it's just really cute. Anyway, I highly recommend. Thanks for spending time with me. I really appreciate it. And visit me on all the social media sites. I'm everywhere as Trina Boyce, but I'm also listed as movie review mom. Anyway, have a fantastic day. Have a great weekend, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now. Did I end?